Am I live? Test. Babe, is the audio fine? Go to my stream. Hey, is my audio working? Like, is it good to go? Can you hear me? You're on. All right. All right, so just in case you're unfamiliar, because I figured I'd do a video. I was actually going to do it in a video format, but whatever. Anyway, I had done a video a while back talking about my theory, which was made up. I made a clarification video. But anyway, so I had made up this theory that Paul has this special technique that nobody knows about. It's super secret, like special tier 1 operator stuff. And basically that in the bottom of a magazine, you'd put a marker in there. This way, if you accidentally got too low on your magazine or you lost count of that particular round count, you could have a marker to let you know, hey, you only got one round left, and then you could change out magazines. And then at the end of that video, I even put the little troll label. This way everybody knows that it was a joke to be funny. And well, anyway, a bunch of people took it seriously. So then I made a second clarification video. Anyway, so I was at home last night and it was getting pretty late. And all of a sudden I went to go check out my YouTube channel and I had a whole bunch of different comments of various ways I should kill myself. And comments like, you're a POS, blah, 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 blah. And then I found out that Paul had did a video because somebody had texted me and then a Patreon told me. So I had went into that video already thinking that he hated me, which was really hard because he's one of my favorite creators. I really respect that guy and I try to make my videos kind of like the way he does because I just like his format. And I explained that in the first video. So I went into that thinking he hated me. Well, anyway, so I kind of freaked out because when I watched it under the impression that I had already decided in my head he hated me, I thought it was negative. So then I left the comment on his video, nothing bad, but just like, hey, you know, what's going on? I was really cool to you in the video and I gave you nothing but respect. Why that? And then somebody had posted in my community tab because I posted another thing trying to bait him out to get him into private conversation. Because if you've ever tried to message him privately, he don't have any way to do that. I looked. So anyway, and then in my community tab, somebody was like, well, hey, you know, that's kind of a sense of humor. I wasn't really getting this vibe that it was angry or some sort of attack against you. And I'm like, whatever, that guy don't know what he's talking about. And then another one popped up. So then I watched it again, you know, without the goggles of, okay, he for sure hates me. And yes, that I'm not getting that vibe anymore. Now that I've watched it, it looks like he's making a retort in a funny way. He didn't even direct it at me, like he didn't mention my channel name or anything. So I don't think he hates me. So I apologize if you got involved in the community tab. But you got to understand, like, when I first watched it, I thought for sure he hated me. And it wasn't just comments going against me telling me to kill myself. Like, they were attacking other viewers that were commenting on that video in a positive way. Like, you should kill yourself because this guy's a loser, blah, 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 blah. So I went into the video thinking, okay, he hates me. Anyway, try not to use the word Paul in comments anymore because I put up my filters. So if you were to use the word Paul and then a curse word, it automatically filters out that comment because they're attacking viewers. If you want to talk crap to me, that's fine. It's part of the job requirement. When you're on YouTube, you expect you're going to take some crap, but you can't attack people that are viewers. They're just there to get entertainment or watch a video about whatever topic. So anyway, that's what's going on. So we're up to date on that unless I find out some sort of new piece of information that he secretly does hate me or he is really mad about the video. Like if he is truly mad about that video, all he'd have to do is send me a message and I'd even take it down because, you know, maybe it wasn't in the best of taste. So anyway, does anybody have any questions? I don't think he hates you. You're just misunderstood your message. Sorry, you misunderstood me. I found a bolt action Winchester 3030. Nice. One of the newer rifles I had used when I first started hunting was a bolt action 3030, which I hated. Nothing against the rifle. I just didn't like it because I wanted a semi-auto, and I eventually got a Mini 14. That was pretty awesome. When I respect both your channels. Wait, what's going on? I just summed up basically the drama that had happened between me and Paul's channel. There's nothing really there, and it's not really drama, but I just wanted to make a clarification because I had done a community tab that kind of didn't have the best message. Okay, let me talk crap. How much have you showered? Sup, man? Don't mess with Paul. He's Chuck Norris. Oh, Paul said it was okay. Like, literally, that takedown video against Caleb or whatever, he was like, if stuff is in good humor, it's okay. That's fine. He even gave examples of videos that are okay to make about him when he talked about Gun Drama Johnny. He doesn't care about that. Hello, Matt. It's been a while. What's up? Getting the what?
Get the action figure for $100. Just kidding.
Oh, the action figure, that was pretty sweet. I'm kind of jelly about that. Drama, don't swear it. Such things are bad publicity. Thought sucks. Is it tough to be as sexy as I am? Hey, Matt, going to see you. Good to see you. Hey, what's up? Have a great night, Matt, and your family. Thank you. I appreciate it. Was some funny shit I seen all day. I saw he refuted your last round. Oh, I didn't. I made that clarification video. I don't actually believe he does that. The whole point is anybody other than Paul Harold to test that theory would just be absurd. He is the only channel that has a strong enough audience that could be like, hey, so I heard of this theory where you change the second to last round in your magazine, and, will you notice a difference? Will you see an elevation difference in your target, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera? So that's why I made that. I was hoping that he would pick up the idea and be like, hey, that's a different concept. Maybe I should test that. But it didn't go down that way. But it's okay. Have a good night. Can you recommend a long gun safe for under $1,000? Safes, like, really, if somebody wants to steal your crap, unless you buy a quality safe, typically what a safe is drywall with just metal about as thick as this shelf. We're talking like 16, maybe 10 gauge steel around drywall. You can take a sledgehammer, and usually if you swing it hard enough, you can put a hole right in a safe. They're terrible, and then they put these big lugs on there to give you the illusion of having security, but those big lugs on the back of it, they just have this like 3/16, maybe a little bit thicker than that, probably like a 3/8 rod welded to it. Those lugs snap right off. You have to buy a quality safe if you actually want it to stand up against attack. Most safes under like $5,000, they're just sheet metal around drywall that give the buyer the illusion they're buying safety. They're not. If you really want to buy something under $1,000 that could give you real protection, get yourself like an old soda machine, gut that bad boy out, turn that into a gun safe, and throw that in your basement. One, because it's camouflaged, so unless you're showing all your friends, they're not going to know about it. Two, they're made out of much thicker steel than a gun safe. They're made to be out in the public and resist attack. The old soda machine is far better, especially when you're talking about on the budget side of things. Let's see what else we got here. $4,000, I thought. Stock up, young man. Terran Tactical's pink taco with the red dots was very... Babe, what's this one? The one with the thumbs up near the bottom.
Noble.
Huh?
I thought you sticking up the young woman regarding the tan from pink taco with red dots situation was very noble.
Well, thank you. That had to be stuck up for, because I would not have made that video. I don't get into people's politics. What they do, it's kind of like giving people love advice. No matter what advice you give, you will be wrong in the end. So you never give people relationship advice or love advice. But I had made that video about the pink taco. I had no idea what it was about. I was completely clueless. I actually thought Brandon Herrera, the AK guy, went to Vegas and got wasted and had hooked up with some sort of stripper because that's what made sense in my mind. And they were picking on to him. And that was funny. But then when I found out that it was actually referencing a specific girl in the gun community, and I made a video giving the illusion that I think it's okay, and not only okay, just funny, I had to make a second video. And there was a whole bunch of people like, oh, maybe that's not herpes on the pink taco. Maybe it's razor burn. Regardless what it may or may not be, the point that it's there is implying that there is something wrong with that pink taco. Because that pink taco is labeled with a specific name, they're implying that there is something wrong with her vagina. So I didn't have a choice. I had to make that video. Normally I would never, ever put my toe in that water because no matter which way you go, you lose. It doesn't matter who is right or wrong, Terran Tactical, who handled it right or wrong. The point is I made a video highlighting something that was making fun of her specifically. So I had to pick a side. And I did choose to pick the side of the girl over Terran Tactical. I made a video about it. You can go watch the video if you want more explanation. Anyway. Let's see. Can you do a video on an SKS? Yes, I will eventually. We just got to get some in. There was some that came in, but it was right before the Booga flu, so I didn't get them. I should have, but hindsight's always 2020. There's just one SKS you have to avoid. I believe it's Yugoslavian, because for whatever reason they don't do chromium in their country, or they're not allowed to do chromium in their country. So it's the only SKS that's made without a chrome line barrel. So by any SKS, that's to the best of my knowledge. I could be wrong. But so any SKS besides Yugoslavian is the one to get. Any experience with piston ARs? Yeah, but it was way back in the beginning of piston ARs. It was with Adams. I swear there was a little bit longer name to the company. Adams Arms. We were like 4,000 rounds into that, and the carrier tilt and completely cut into the receiver and destroyed the buffer tube. At that point, I was like, no more go on a piston AR-15 unless it's something specifically made for a piston AR-15, like those SIG, whatever they were called, or like a SCAR. Then I'm on board with the piston system. But like to convert something that's supposed to be DI over to piston, to me, it doesn't make sense. Not to mention an AR-15 is already piston driven. The piston's just in a different spot. So everybody thinks it's direct impingement, but it's not. That's a piston system. That's why there's gas rings. So that's how I feel about piston systems on an AR. I think, one, you're adding unnecessary parts that could break. Two, you're adding weight. Why? I mean, it already had a very good system that's more than proven to be exceptionally reliable. All right, where were we? If I want to, how far can my 50 BMG shoot? I have no idea. I've never owned a 50 BMG. Ballistically speaking, they can shoot much farther than the gun is accurate, unless, of course, you get like an actual sniper rifle. Like again, I haven't owned a 50 BMG, so this is all secondhand information. Oh, we got a super chat. I'm sorry I'm late. What's it say, babe? What? Viva? I thought I read it wrong. You didn't really miss much. I was just clarifying that what happened, that I thought there was drama, but there wasn't drama. You'll just have to restart the live stream once you get a chance. Sorry about that. Soda machine is a great idea. What do you think of the upcoming PSA AK line? I don't know. I don't have any experience with their AKs. Their AR-15s seem to be of decent quality. I mean, depending on, because they have different tiers of quality, as long as you don't buy the cheapest version and expect it to be quality, you're okay. Like if you buy the cheap version of PSA and you're like, okay, this is a cheap AR-15 and that's what your expectations are set on, then yes, you're okay. And then you can buy their more expensive versions. And to be honest, the price point that they're bringing AR-15s into the gun world is amazing. Like they're killing it. PSA is the way to go. So with applying that to their AK lines, I assume, I know nobody should ever assume because it makes an ass out of you and me, but applying that to their AK lines, even if they do suck originally, I suspect that they'll become really good really soon. I have a personal rule. I never buy the first 3 years of production, whether that's a car, a gun, or whatever, because in my head, I always imagine the first 3 years of production of anything to be like their trial run. And then after about 3 years, enough people have run into problems or complained about things, so where things get fixed. And then the 4th year is when you get the actual product. All right, where are we? Oh, Matt, you pushed the Bushmaster AR-15, but it's now discontinued. Any other recommendations? Well, the next cheapest one after Bushmaster would be a Wyndham Weaponry. They're about 10% more. They have a little bit better quality control because it's not done on a mass scale. Now, I don't actually know if Bushmaster is even discontinued because I talked to my distributor and he said he's still getting orders in. It's just that because of the Booga flu, they're all going out to other people. So as of would have been a week ago, Bushmaster is still sending out rifles to the distributors. I asked him, is that going to continue? Do you know what's going on? He had no answers. He's like, once the rifles stop, then we'll remove it off of our website. But for now, we are still getting them trickling in. I don't know if that's old supply or if they're just throwing some together. I'm assuming it's not old supply. I'm assuming it's not old supply because after the Booga flu, everybody bought up everything. So realistically speaking, they're new manufactured. So I don't know. Who knows? Maybe Bushmasters will become a collector item in a few years if they do continue to stay shut down. Do I believe they'll continue to stay shut down? Yes and no. The brand Bushmaster, because of the lawsuits and everything, that's gone. That will probably cease to exist. But the actual company that's making Bushmasters, I suspect they'll just stamp a new brand on it, give it a new LLC, and continue moving forward. Have you heard of more on the guy that sued by his neighbor? Actually, no, I was going to talk to him yesterday or the day before. He's got a Facebook page that he's been posting any updates on it. As soon as he has a significant update, I'm going to try to bring him here and do a live stream. But as of right now, the best update I got is he's got a lawyer now, from what I understand. Now, remember, this is secondhand information. But the Booga flu has everything on pause. So I don't know. I have no info. That's why I haven't done an update video yet. As soon as I have something significant to report on, I will most definitely do a video. Razor burn. Who blank would make what, babe?
Who the fuck would make a cat with razor burn? Funny as hell.
Yeah, that's kind of how I felt. That wouldn't make sense. Having a soda machine.
By pressing the buttons with the true idea to actually.
That would actually be an awesome idea if they just put machines outside where you can go in and put in your money and then get the firearm, because this is America and the background check itself is unconstitutional. Just remember, before you do the AK videos, don't forget your treat your finger for trigger slap. Oh, duh. It just took me a second to figure it out. Yeah, I've had terrible luck with AK-47s. Almost every single one of them I've put my hands on has had very uncomfortable best case scenario triggers to where it felt like I was putting my hand in a mousetrap. You don't like the Brady trigger? Binary triggers. The binary triggers I won't go with because you can outrun your bolt carrier. And to me, that just sounds counterintuitive. Now, the Echo trigger, where they actually have like an auto sear set up in there, to where if you do happen to outrun the bolt carrier, it just pauses the hammer, so you stop outrunning the bolt carrier. That I would be okay with. And the binary triggers are so ridiculously expensive, and they're so easy to make. All they are is a 3-shot fire control group. You ditch the... Because you got... All right, so your hammer comes down, and then there's 2 hooks that go on it, on your 3-shot control group. You ditch the other hook that would work for the 3 shots, and then you just put a semi-auto hook in there. So then when you push on the binary trigger, it would pull both hooks out of the way. So, or no, it would pull the semi-auto hook out of the way. So then you just have your 3-shot hook. So when you let go of the trigger, it also lets it go. And it's a binary trigger. You can build one yourself for like $50. So why people are spending like $400 on a binary trigger, especially when they're as finicky as they are, doesn't make sense to me. I'll just build my own one off of a 3-round burst fire control group. Maybe I'll even do a post in my community tab and just circle what parts you need, because you can get those fire control groups for like $50. Seriously. Nice idea. My pawn shop is overpriced, getting out there, and old beat up Remington 700 for $900. Holy crap. You don't have to have a chrome line bore. You go SKSs work just fine. With that being said, you go SKSs ain't my favorite and are on the down list of SKSs I'd prefer. I just look at it, I mean, we're talking about a military weapon, and almost all military weapons have a chrome line bore. So if I'm going to get an SKS, it's going to have a chrome line bore, and because Yugoslavia doesn't do chromium, I won't buy their AKs or their SKSs. I will actually be bringing a Yugo AK in here for a review pretty shortly. We'll be doing some shooting with that. See if maybe it's a pistol version, so I don't know how much of a difference it's going to make. But we're going to see if maybe the chromium missing out of the AK-47 will improve the accuracy I've seen over other AKs, because I typically see between 3 to 6 MOA. So we'll have to decide on that. Let me know really quick if you can, because the heat just kicked on. I don't know how bad it'll screw up my audio. If it is pretty bad, let me know in the comments, and I'll just go manually shut off the heat. Agreed, you don't, blah, 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 blah. I like the LWRC. I like my LWRC SIG piston ARs, 3,000 rounds through each of them, 0 malfunctions. Nice. That's not bad at all. And from what I understand, the SIG AR-15s are actually made to take pistons, so you shouldn't get the carrier tilt like if you were to convert one over to piston. Hey, Matt, not sure if you like Milsurp stuff, but all right, babe.
I don't know what that was.
Torque.
I don't know what that is. They are really fun, legit power and long. Enjoy that.
I don't know what that T word is. Took a review. Tukarv. Tukavorov. I give up. That probably a sick frying pan do you have? And now I have to go back to work now. You're probably too late on the comment to see it, but you have a good night, man. Your 1022 videos are great. Curious, what are your thoughts on a Ruger Takedown model? On the Ruger Takedown model, I think they're amazing, and that totally makes those other survival rifles useless, because now you're getting a semi-auto that can have a high capacity in the small places, say like an AR-7 or one of those fold-up 22s. So there's no point in buying any other survival rifle when you have the Ruger Takedown model. Now, for scopes, because the scope goes on the receiver, I don't know how well it'll hold 0. I would like to throw down $450, because that's what it would cost me, dealer cost, to get a Takedown model with the bull barrel and throw a scope on it and see if it makes a difference. And if it does make a difference, how big of a difference? What kind of accuracy am I losing? But that's a lot to throw down on the unknown. So when I build Project Slayer, I'm not going to do a takedown model. But otherwise, yeah, if you don't want to throw optics on it, yeah, takedown is the way to go because then your iron sights are right on the barrel. Friends, what's up, brother? All right, I'm going to skip down to the bottom of the comment section because I'm falling way behind. So if you posted something earlier you want answered, just repost it. All right, give a thumbs up. Woo! A-hole gunner. Chad does 7.62 Tokarva. I'm sorry, man. I don't know that word, brother. If you don't know about it now, I know you are going to love it. $250 body armor piercing 1911. Wow. I'll have to look into that one. What about FNARs? When I do the MLP project, which is going to be an M4A1, I've already kind of like skimmed over what it's going to cost me. It would be cheaper for me just to buy an FN M4A1, and then that's the actual one that they're issuing to the military, except it's semi-auto. So it seems expensive. Dealer cost on that is about $1,500, so you should be paying like $1,550 to $1,600 for an FN M4A1. If it's more than that, I would probably pass on that because they're probably scourging. But what you're getting on that package, like I said, when I'm going to build my piece together one, I will wind up spending that same amount. It's worth it. They're not overcharging that much. They can sell them cheaper than I can build it. So I think it's worth it. Where are we here? Plus FN is when God gave us FN on day 8. It was amazing, and they build quality stuff. All my experience with FN has just been stellar. So, I mean, obviously my opinion's a little bit biased. Is your lady BBW? What the hell is BBW?
Is that big, beautiful woman or black, beautiful woman? I don't know.
I'm pretty sure that's some sort of reference to a black guy's unit. No, she's not a trainee, if that's what you're asking. There are like Romanian and Poland stuff with the 7.62 Takarva. Good point. Takedown model. Thanks, Og. I had experience with a Tavor, which was pretty decent. Never with an Og, though. What about it? Did I already read that? What about FNARs? Oh, he said it twice. Smiley face lacquer. Toka review. Toka rev. Toka. The O would be long. Toka v. I get. I'm not gonna try to pronounce it. I'll watch a video and watch how someone else pronounces it and just mimic them. Toker v. What about FNARs? I like Ruger. I like your Ruger for 1022. What is he?
I'm sorry, what?
I like your Ruger. What?
I have no idea.
That don't matter. Yep, those Takara handguns are worth looking into. And Revul. I give up. It's pretty cool. Take a toke. Yes, please. Toker of. Thanks for answering. Of a toker of. Pass it. Okay. Love the shirt. Thank you. Laugh my ass off. Who said that? BBW comment? I don't know. That conversation's going in a weird direction. BBW, not BBC.
Big Black Cock is BBC and BBW is Black Beautiful Woman or Big Beautiful Woman. I don't know.
Big Black Woman?
I'm not fat though.
And you're not black either.
No.
I mean, you've been on a live stream before. I don't get it. Opinion on 6'5 Grendel. If you want... 6'5 Grendel is cool between 300 and 400 yards. That's where it shines. If you're shooting at targets between 300 and 400 yards, 6'5 Grendel all the way. And any other range, there's different cartridges that can do better. He led a sheltered life. Big Black Cock. Why are we still on that? And why do I keep reading them on accident? Does Anderson Arms make good AR-15s? I've never actually bought one of their completed ones. The only thing I've ever bought from Anderson has been their lower receivers, which they're different. They're not mil-spec. The bolt going into the pistol grip is only halfway, so you have to buy this special bolt. And you need to buy it with your receiver because if you buy it separately, they charge $11 for shipping. I don't know if they think everybody's zip code is to the moon and they're taking this 1 gram piece apart and charging $11 for it. So be careful. Make sure if you get a low receiver, you also buy their proprietary bolt. That or just buy a tap and run it through the low receiver and call it a day. I saw his comment in the last one of your videos. Maybe he means Tukavra. Toker. Okay, I'm skipping on. 6.5 Creedmoor and Grendel. I mean, the 6.5 Creedmoor is a really decent cartridge because you're taking a platform that is already set up, the 308 platform, takes the same magazine. You're just changing the barrel, and you're definitely increasing the capabilities of the 308 platform. I'd have to look at the specs again, but I believe that in short game, the 308 is the better solution. Again, I'd have to look at the specs again. But in any medium to long game, without a doubt, 6.5 Creedmoor takes the cake. My 1022 is a tack driver. I'm not trying to spell that T word or say a T word anymore. Tucker off. Why do I keep going back to it? Big Black Woman. All right, I'm at the bottom again. So if you put a question earlier and I didn't answer it, just ask it, please. Do you like Beretta APX? I've never had a chance to screw around with a Beretta APX, so I don't really have an opinion on it. Yes, 25-06. My dad messed around with that one. He likes it. I've never been behind the trigger on a 25-06. You got it 7.62 by 25 millimeter tuck or review. What's your opinion on the Smith & Wesson AR-15s? They're put together really good, and they appear to be backed up by really good quality control because we've had a bunch of them come through with no obvious issues that should have been fixed at the manufacturer. You do get what I consider a substandard barrel because instead of 4150 steel, you get 4140, and it's not chrome line. They use QPQ on it. What's your recommendation for a first lever gun for a first gun? That all depends on your state laws. What can you get away with? If I can get away with a high-capacity lever gun, well, what I'd consider a high-capacity lever gun, I go pistol caliber because they're awesome. There's like no recoil. Like a lever gun in like 357 or 45 long Colt, man, you can just ding, 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 ding. Well, I can't, but professional shooters can. But I can still work it pretty good. I look cool, and that's what I would go with, like a 16-inch, maybe an 18-inch lever gun with a full-length magazine tube and some sort of pistol caliber with a side gate. I think the ones where you have to feed it through the top are stupid. You may have a different opinion, but that's my thoughts on it. M9A1. Never had one. I would like to get one. I think it's like the A2 or something. I can't remember what M9 I want, but I definitely want one. It might be the A3 or the A2. Canic TP9 subcompact. Your thoughts? I didn't even know they made a subcompact. I kind of iffy about anything that comes from Century Arms, but I will. If they make a subcompact, we will eventually bring one in. What's up with you and Paul? You'll just have to start the live stream over with that. It's the first like 5 minutes of the live stream was explaining that. I don't want to explain it again in the middle because most of the people already seen it. Hey, he's gonna crack the T word. I better get credit when you love it though.
Sorry, it's on the T word. I better get credit when you love it though.
Are you live streaming? No, because I tried doing a live stream like a month ago, but because I got my laptop. The whole idea behind the laptop is I can do live streams and then I can bring other people in and do collaboration live streams. So like if you have a relatively high YouTube channel, let me know and we'll do some sort of collaboration live stream. But when I tried doing a screen capture, because this laptop also does phone calls, it has a noise canceling software. So when I was trying to do a screen capture, so I could roll in a clip of a video to make my point, it wouldn't get the audio because it was canceling itself out because it thought I was making a phone call. So then I tried screwing with the audio to shut off the noise reduction so I could do a screen capture. But then when I tried doing a live stream, it just kept doing the audio in a feedback loop. So I was like, hi, ha. So I'm back to where I think I got it fixed. So I'd like to do a live stream once a month, but we'll see how that goes because I still want to do screen capture. So I might take another crack at screen capturing and I might mess up my audio again. And then it might be weeks before I figure out how to fix it again. I'm computer illiterate. Ooh, a super chat. What do we got here? Love the channel. Thank you. All right, where are we? 22 perfect varmint round. Is an Ithaca 37 a piece of crap? No, it is not. And I want one. I want an Ithaca 37. That is next on my shotguns to buy. I wanted a 97 Winchester. Nailed it. I wanted a Winchester Model 12. Nailed it. Now I need an Ithaca Model 37 that I can convert to the Riot model because that's got the extended magazine tube. They're cool. Now, I don't know about their newer Ithaca 37s because they put those back into production. You can buy a brand new Ithaca 37 again. But the older ones, pre-80 where they still slam fire, those are amazing. We just actually had one in here that was a slug gun, which looked pretty cool. I posted on my community tab. I did have an issue, but I think it was just because it was that dirty, so we cleaned it, but we got to test fire it again to see if it's good to go. So if you can get an older Ithaca 37, you should buy it. Because I was even pricing them out on Gun Broker to see if I could get one for a project gun. And, man, they're charging quite a bit for them. Where are we here? Change we can get to how to make your own weapon for red flag laws. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, the whole idea behind like 80%ers in that is not really you could make AR-15s, but if you're really that paranoid that they're going to come to the gun shop and get your paperwork and figure out where you live, well, they could just as easy go to a parts dealer and be like, okay, who have you sent parts out to? We want all the addresses. No matter which way you look at it, you're screwed. The idea is to stop this before it happens, the confiscation. Because, like, if they came in the door right now, yes, they'd get my paperwork because I wouldn't be ready for it. Say they went into a gun shop in Milwaukee and took their paperwork and started confiscating people. Well, by the time they got here, the wiring in this building is real finicky, and I'm pretty sure that it would probably catch on fire and that paperwork would burn up. I don't know. You just never know. Wiring's really tricky. It's really hard to know what's going on with wiring. But anyway, if it's getting to the point of confiscation, you have to worry about your lower receiver being on at a gun shop because I'm sure they'd have taken other measures to, it don't matter if you built an 80% lower or not. They're going to know you have stuff at your house. Ammunition shipped there. Gun parts have shipped there. You've had a hunting license for that property. You've had other firearms for that property. Trying to hide a single AR-15 or AK because you made an 80% lower receiver, it just doesn't seem feasible. Now, that's my opinion. You may have a different opinion. Some other YouTuber may have a different opinion, but that's how I feel on the topic. Thoughts on a Beretta 92? Awesome. 6.8 SPC opinions. I had a 6.8. I took game with the 6.8. I've taken game with the 223. I'll be honest with you. When I cut them open and I look inside and I see the damage, I don't see a difference. There's no significant difference between the 6.8 and the 223. And the 223 stays what I'm going to call it hypersonic. I don't know the actual term for it. Above 2,100 feet per second, farther than the 6.8 SPC. Once they drop below that feet per second, now they're performing like a pistol round. So you'll get longer range out of a 223. You'll get extra cartridges because you can fit more inside the magazine, and it's lighter. I don't really see the advantage to the 6.8 unless, of course, your state law says you cannot hunt with anything smaller than point. Well, that wouldn't work either. It'd have to be smaller than like 0.26. Then yes, the 6.8 SPC, you'd be able to hunt with that. Any pre-64 Winchester Model 70s? Yeah, we get them in all the time, actually. They sell pretty quick, though. They usually come in the store, and then they go right back out the store. Because we won't buy them unless I can be competitive with gun broker prices. So Winchester Model 70, last time I checked, in fair condition is like $350, $400. So we get the Winchester the Winchester Model 94s. Wait, did I get on something totally different here? Pre-64 Model 70s. Any pre-64 Win Model 70s. Is that the... I think that might be the bolt action, not the lever action. The lever actions go really fast. Oh, we just did get a Winchester bolt action in. And I don't remember what caliber. Really beautiful gun. Perfect shape. Was that a Model 70? I think that was a Model 70, but that'll wind up going right in and right back out the shelf. Because again, I price them out to what I could be competitive at gun broker prices. Not what people are listing gun broker prices for, what people are actually paying. So I go to sold items, average them all out. Okay, that's what I'm valuing it at. Let's see. CRS firearms. Why is the federal government now passing enforcement rules on non-standard weapon research? Babe, read this. I think I'm reading it wrong.
Federal government now passing the enforcement rules on non-standard weapon research.
I didn't actually know anything about it. And a PSA lower. They're good to go. 12 of 357. Yeah, that's what I had in mind. I'm going to skip to the bottom again. So if you left a comment you want an answer to and I didn't get to it, just re-comment it. Because it's already 10:37 and I'm going to have to wrap things up pretty quick here. Should I buy a new model Ruger 1020? Should I buy a... Damn it, my comment keeps moving on me. Should I buy a new Ruger 1022? How much do you do older models which... with better... It's all hit or miss. I mean, we've had older model 1022s in perfect conditions in here for like $199. It all depends what we can get it for and still make a profit for. Newer ones, I mean, Ruger has some of the best customer service I've ever dealt with in my life. So I would never tell anybody not to buy a Ruger unless I know it's just a total junk box. But it really don't matter because they'll just give you a new gun or give you your money back. Let's see what we got here. Both piston, rifle calibers. Think of an AR, FN, P90 feed system on top. I've seen those before. If I had a P90 plus a FN 5.7 it would make sense for me to convert my AR-15 to 5.7 and have that magazine, but the 5.7's got nothing on the 223. The 5.7 is still a pistol cartridge made for pistols. Now, against other pistol cartridges, oh yeah, it takes them to work, but against actual rifle cartridges, it's pretty substandard. Hello, I do like the plastic trigger. Yeah, I'd rather have metal myself too. Will Bill blah 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 pass? Or I have no idea. I totally avoid gun laws and politics right now. I just can't get into it. It takes my sleep away. And me not sleeping isn't helping the situation any. If there's something where, yeah, it looks really, really bad, then yeah, I'd report on it. But I don't follow this stuff enough to be able to report on it because I can't. I got to sleep. I read in the NRA magazine that 6.8 thing was BS to throw off.
And that rumor has it the Army has made an entirely new brown called the 30 Army. I think it was in the April.
I don't know if the 6.8 was some sort of smoke screen. It might have been. It could have been, and then it just caught on. The Army 30, I don't know if that's some sort of cut down 308. If that is what it is, that actually was way back in like 2011. I had seen articles about that. They're shooting like 110 grain 30 caliber at like 2,500 feet per second, so they're quite bleh. Of course, that is a 30 caliber inside of an AR-15 platform, but why the 5.56 would run circles around that? Thanks for all the vids. Move out of state, go where free. What? Thank you for all the vids.
Move out of that state, all free.
Oh, it's not that our state is oppressive. It's really not. The reason you hear so much news about Wisconsin and all the bad things that are happening is because people in Wisconsin stand up for themselves. This same crap you're hearing about everybody reporting on is happening in all the states. It's just that in Wisconsin, they're like, no! And they make a big scene, make videos. We report on it because that's a big deal. The same thing's happening in Illinois and Kentucky and everywhere else. It's just that happens to them. They kind of like bend over and then go back to their bedroom. That's the only reason you hear so much reporting on like crazy stuff that happens in Wisconsin, because people actually, they stand up for it and they're like, no, it's happening everywhere. There is no just moving to a different state. Relatively speaking, we're a very free state. What's the best selling item since COVID-19? AR-15s. I built a 458 SOCOM, big paperweight I've ever had. $3 a bullet? That's insane. So yeah, if you're thinking about 458 SOCOM, also think about $3 every time you pull the trigger. What's up with Paul? Did I miss it? Yeah, you're going to have to start the live stream over because I spent like 5 minutes explaining it. Got to step off. Just got in and a beer is calling. Well, you have a good night then. Blah, blah, blah. Quality control is what he means. I want a nicer, but I give up. I love my Ruger 5.56. I heard they're really good. I've never been able to touch one yet. Opinion on steel case ammo. You're going to wear your barrel out quicker. That's a fact. But the savings on the ammo, you can typically buy a barrel. I don't like the idea of wearing my barrel out quicker, so I go with full metal jacket because it's not the steel case that's the problem. It's the projectile they shove inside the steel case that's the problem. Because that's a steel jacketed bullet with basically a copper colored paint job on it. So it cuts out your rifling. Can you or will you? All right, I had to read that one silently for a second because I wasn't sure where you were going with that comment. Can you or will you take this to read?
It amongst my PDFs.
Say it again.
Can you or will you take this to read it amongst my PDFs?
I have no idea. Firearms is selfish. What is the best selling? All right, Smith & Wesson has great customer service. Yes. Ruger 5.7. Yeah, how is that Ruger 5.7? I've heard a lot about it, but never got to touch one yet. Have you reviewed the Glock 48 or the 43X yet? No, I have not. Do you think brands of 5.56 ammo using... Oh, crap, I lost my comment. Brands of 5.56 using Lake City components is good ammo. I'm assuming anybody that's making 5.56 is making good ammo. I'm sure there's junk companies out there. So this is just a relative blanket statement. But if you're making 5.56 because people are prudent it out so cheap and you can get mill surplus for so cheap, you would have to be making some quality ammo. Otherwise, your company's just going to go under or nobody's going to buy your 5.56 ammo. Again, opinion. Steel butt plate. Thoughts on the Mini 14? I think they're sexy as hell. 32 APC thoughts. No opinion there. Chair spent 28. Oh, you're replying to someone. CZP10F 29 mil. PSA is good people to work. PSA is good people to work with too. Nice. I had no idea what PSA customer service was like. Communism is the best. America. Would you recommend a 44 or a 500 Magnum for bear pistols? I don't know. I've never bought 500 Magnum ammo, so I guess it would probably come down to how much it costs. If anything, for bear pistols, I would go 454 Casulla because you can also put in a 45 long Colt. So if you want to actually have fun with the handgun and not break your wrist, you can shoot 45 long Colt. And then if you're actually going to bear country or something, you can put in a 454 Casulla. Because the 454 Casulla is basically a Magnum version of a 45 long Colt. Now, if you went with a 44 and you've got 44 special, so it don't have a lot of recoil, you're not really saving any money because they both cost a lot. But with 45 long Colt, as long as you're saving your brass, you can just throw in a, what's that powder called? Trail Boss, and throw on a 45 APC bullet. Boom. Now you have cheap ammo that you're loading for pennies. When, as far as, well, yeah, because you could reload all of them. With a revolver, I'd reload because the ammo is just too expensive. But I would go with a 454 Casulla because you get the 45 long Colt option. That's my opinion. Thoughts on any M1 carbine? Thoughts on any of the models of M1 carbines? That rifle never really caught my attention, so I never paid attention to it, so I really don't have an opinion on them. America needs frog legs. What is this frog leg crap? What's up with you and Paul? You'll have to start the live stream over. Listen, don't hear. Paul must have high points are good. What's a Tuckerova? South Dakota is a free state. Ha ha ha. I'm going to skip to the bottom again, and then we're going to wrap it up. If anybody has any comments or something that they want to know, what time is it right now? It's 11 or 10:48 here. We'll call it 10:50. At 11 o'clock, we're going to shut her down. So bring in your final comments.
If you could only own 3 guns, what would they be?
If I could only own 3 guns, what would it be? My Winchester 97, my Scar 17. God, I wouldn't have a pistol then. Piss on it. I'd own my Winchester Model 97, my Scar 17, and my Bushmaster AR-15. Because I'm kind of covered, because then I got shotgun, I got a hard rifle, and I got a soft rifle. Now, if I could own 4, I'd add in my Ruger 1022. If I could own 5, I'd probably figure out what pistol I want. All right, sorry, typo. Oh, 454 Kasula. I give up. What's your favorite Korn album? The one with Beating Me Down. I forget the name of that one.
Could I get your thoughts on the 10mm high point carbine?
10mm high point carbine. I believe that's as cheap as you can get a 10mm carbine for. Other than that, it's a tank. It weighs a lot. It weighs way more than an AR-15. So if you got to have a carbine, it's got to be 10mm, and you're broke, go high point. They got an awesome lifetime warranty. Other than that, I would go with something else. Do you like revolvers? I do, but they're pricey. I will at some point get some. I'm especially going to get a set of twin single actions because I like cowboy action stuff. But it'll be a while because, like I said, they're pricey. And if I'm going to get some twin single actions, they're going to have to be nickel. They're going to have to be scrolled all to hell. They're going to have a 4 3/4 inch barrel, and they're going to have to be in 45 long cold. I'm going to have a lever gun to match it. What's your EDC handgun? At my job, I can't carry a firearm, so I wouldn't even say that I have an EDC gun. Now, when I do carry a gun, right now it's an XDS 45. Opinion on SIG 516. What about piston ARs in general? I covered that topic earlier, but I've never had a SIG AR-15. But from what I understand, they're built to be piston. They're not an AR-15 that they made piston operated. So then, yeah, whatever. If that's your thing, go for it. But piston operated ARs in general, not a fan because they're already piston operated. Why are you taking the piston out of the bolt carrier and putting it on top? Whatever happened to the Army vet? I covered that question earlier too. Nothing. The coronavirus. Holy crap! I almost just said it. I hope this video won't get pulled. Ooh, this might get pulled. Anyway, the Booga flu put everything on pause. There's no updates. Love the channel. Keep it up. 48 POF opinions. I never owned a POF rifle. I heard they're really good though. Charles Daly semi-auto. Is that a Charles Daly revolver we got? Oh crap! Never mind. That's sold, so I can't do a video anyway. Winchester 92 357, 10 mil. What do you think of the hit movie Batman Forever? Hey man, I was a kid when Batman Forever came out, and it had Arnold Schwarzenegger in it. So at the time, I thought it was pretty amazing. As I got a little bit older, the nipples on Batman got a little creepy, and the quality of the movie got. I watch it because when I was a kid, I liked it, but not really a big fan of Batman Forever. Oh, John Wick. John Wick 3 I thought was terrible. It just missed the first two. Like I don't know if they got a new director in John Wick 3 or what the problem was, but it was not the same movie as the first two. Opinion on M1A. I love M1As. And when I have a pile of cash just sitting around buying an M1A, it's going to be, I don't know if I'll go like the old school ones with a 22-inch barrel. No matter what, it's having a wooden stock. That or I'll go with a SOCOM with a short barrel. I got to give that one thought because, I mean, there's nothing that could do that my Scar couldn't. So I'd probably go with a classic one like 22-inch barrel. Now, would I go with a national match or would I go with a normal one? I don't know. Thoughts for the future. But yeah, I'd pull a trigger on an M1A. Realistic gun movies. Realistic gun movies. Oh, I like that movie Street Kings. That's pretty awesome. Black Hawk Down. Can't think of any off the top of my head. Hellboy, police here did. I have an AR built POF piston. Piston can free. Piston equals can't free flow barrel. I agree. Batman Forever. Where does he? Batman Forever. Where he does the thumbs up is awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Thoughts on 270? Amazing cartridge. The 270 is more or less the 6.8 Spear or the 6.8 cartridge that the military is going to use. They just cut it down from a Magnum-sized cartridge down to... Oh, God, you'd have to watch that video. So I'd have to do a whole explanation. But 270 is basically the 6.8 Spear or the new 6.8. I don't know what they're calling it now. It was called Spear for a while. Like, that's what it actually said at their booth. But the 6.8 Fury... It's a 270. It's just that a 270 gives you more case, so you don't have to have some super hot cartridge that's going to rip apart your rifle. Holy crap. I think that's the biggest super chat I've ever gotten. $20. Did you have a question? I mean, for $20, you should definitely get a question answered. Oh, I appreciate it. Any chance we return to normal? Highly unlikely. I mean, even when things do get to normal, man, we got a tough road ahead of us. We have a lot of damage that needs to be repaired. I never knew he did a chat. I never knew he did a chat.
It's live chat.
Oh, like a live stream. Once in a while, but like I was saying earlier, I was having technical difficulties, so I wasn't able to do live streams. I try not to do live streams very often because I feel like the audience itself gets burnt out on live streams. It's just, they really don't have a clear direction. I try to start off in a clear direction, but they always go where my ADHD goes. So they're just like, so I don't do a lot of them because I don't want to burn the audience out, but I like to do one about once a month. You're my dad. Oh, Jesus.
Yeah, you're my dad.
You're my dad. No, that's what it says. You're my dad.
Yeah.
Babe, it's very possible I have several kids out there just for. Well, hopefully they're just kidding. Opinion on No Country for Old Men. That was an awesome movie. I liked it a lot. I kind of felt like there should have been a sequel, but no, there shouldn't have been a sequel. If there was a sequel, I would have watched it, but I don't think it would have worked. I think they had to end the movie where it did. Dukes of Hazzard was primetime TV when I was a kid. It was primetime TV when I was a kid. Do you shoot steel case amp? No, I do not. I'm getting an old Norinco M1A. I didn't know Norinco actually did M1As, but that's pretty cool. John Wick 3 isn't bad. Halle Berry Catwoman was awesome. Yes, it was. So where dogs, guns didn't make sense. What? John Wick 3 isn't bad. No, it's not a bad movie, but that... It would be like if you logged on to my channel and there I was doing a family vlog video or petting a dog or doing a video on the top 20 puzzles. John Wick 3, it was different. I don't know how to put it in words what was different about it, but what I was expecting when I went into John Wick 3 was not what I got. His style was different. If I would have seen the other two, yes, it would have been a good movie. But it was different. It was like they brought a different God, how do you explain it? It's just it didn't have the same feel. His fighting styles were different, which I'm not a martial artist. I'm not going to pretend to be, so I can't even say fighting styles because I don't know what I'm talking about. But like how he would move his body and go through things and use different firearms, it was different. And that wouldn't work because this was supposed to be one continuous timeline. You wouldn't change over that. Now, if the sequel would have been like 10 years in the future, yes, you can change the person, how they act, how they interact with things, how they do things differently. But it's supposed to be like no gap between 2 and 3. So the person shouldn't change in what they're doing. Am I even making sense? Do you prefer striker or DASA? DASA. What's the number one reason? I like options. With striker, you have no options. You can pull the trigger. That's it. No other options. DASA, you get options. Heat, that was a pretty good movie. I haven't seen that in a long time. I might have to watch that again. Another Val Kilmer, and God, who else is in there? I think, was it Robert De Niro? The guy that played Scarface. I don't remember. It's been a long time since I've seen Heat. 13 Hours. I haven't seen that in a long time. John Wick 2. Guns made the most sense. Camping, short action, you rock, bro. All right, well, I'm going to end the live stream. I really apologize if I didn't get to any of your questions. If they're real important to you, I guess just leave them after this live stream shuts down. You'll have the comment section. Just leave them there, and I'll try to answer them. I really do appreciate you guys all popping in here and chatting. Really appreciate the super chats. I mean, it makes me feel like, how do you even explain it? Like, your work is really appreciated. I mean, I would do it regardless, but still, like, it's that extra icing on the cake. Like, good job, bro, or whatever. That's what it feels like. So anyway, appreciate you guys coming out, chatting. You all have a good night. Let's end that. Would you like to end? Yes, that's why I clicked the button.